the content creators that bring you the lowest effort content imaginable. You know, the ones that bring you info that the devs don't want you to know about. The podcast you probably don't want the EE mods to know you listen to. And will most likely get you banned just for talking about it. Raw!
Uncut and uncensored. We want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Maybe try some mining or something you know. Remember to not undock anything you can't afford to lose. Try not to make any dumb decisions buzzed on booze. Yes, I'm talking to you. Welcome to the Echoes of New Eden podcast. Let's start this bitch.
And it's hard to open after that because it's pretty intense. But welcome everybody to Echoes of New Eden podcast. We're opening up the debut of season 6, episode 1. Though we're not going to name it like every single episode like that following the year. It's just it goes as it is. But just so happens to be the first episode of the season and a year. So I want to make sure that everybody had a great New Year celebration and all that. And, you know, there's a lot of fun to be had in New Eden, of course. And man, we got a great show for you today. We did some talking in the off time. You know, I'm glad that we are back and doing this. I hope our staff had a good little vacation as well. And, you know, we'll kick off the year with an episode of E1. So it is I, Rambo, as your main host today, as well as we have Taylor, the Snowman Rick, with us as well as my trusty co-host. And, you know, are you getting snow right now? Because I know you got like a foot of snow last night.
Well, we got ice, actually. It started with ice, and then it switched to snow this morning. So we have anywhere from 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch worth of ice on everything. And I already went out and shoveled the driveway for the first time.
There you go.
This morning before the show started, I got rid of about 3.5 inches of snow and to expose the ice, but the ice melt down again. Driveway looks okay, but just in the last 2 hours, another inch or so has come down. So we're going to get a total of about 10 to 12 before the day's out today.
I think I'm the only one on the on the panel today that's not dealing with some sort of snow or weather in that sense. Yeah. We got Jubileus with us today. What's going on, Juby? I know you're driving.
Yeah, we're traveling back to Helsinki from the cottage. It's minus 21 degrees Celsius here, and snow and ice here also. But yes, we were at the cottage with the family and had a very good relaxing time and did not do many videos, but I've been working on some projects on the laptop, but it's very cold sometimes to work. Yeah.
I don't blame you. Yeah, that's crazy stuff. Yeah. And we have Damon with us today as well. What's going on, Damon? Long time no talk.
Yeah, I'm actually made the show today.
You made the show, and you made the show sober.
Wow.
Which, yes.
That hasn't happened in 6 months.
There's two miracles back to back, I guess.
I'm also sober. Wow.
Wow.
I would hope so. You're driving.
Well, you would think. Put two and two together, like, wait a minute. Yeah. Hopefully the Finnish police aren't listening. It's like, okay, we gotta get ID on this guy.
Yeah, if you're anywhere near Jubileus' neighborhood, call 999 and text it, and then send Jubileus' image right there and say this man's in trouble.
Great. Well, it's nice seeing you guys. Thanks, Damon, for joining us. I see you got the video on too. So
I was able to do that today.
We got a episode for you today. We're going to talk about all the latest that has happened in the last couple weeks, or week at least, with the game as far as updates goes. And holy crap, Fortizars all of a sudden appeared, almost like we didn't know about that for a month ahead of time. So
it never ceases to amaze me, you know, how much we talk about something ahead of time like this when we get the data and we know about it, and then when it comes out, everybody acts like they had no clue and nobody knew about it, and it was a big surprise. And it's like, no, we've been talking about it for a month. So
Yeah.
it was even on their freaking roadmap that they released. Like, it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody at this point.
Yeah.
I think Taylor needs to have a crystal ball, and you're like predicting this phenomenon,
Yeah.
what's going to happen, and we're like, wow.
Well, I got a
He's the
prediction
oracle.
today. I got a prediction today of what's going to be the next big thing that drops that maybe people don't already know about. So we'll get to it.
The next big thing.
Yep.
Featuring Taylor's Photoshops.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll talk about all the latest, as well as, during the break, we talked about some new segments that are going to be appearing throughout the year, kind of when they come up, I guess you could say. We got some new content for you guys. So after we talk about the game news and after we talk about the community news, because there is a bit of that too, we also got MOBI Mountain for you today. I'm excited to talk about MOBI Mountain. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a number of months now, but decided that Season 6 would probably be the best time to debut it. And I think it's going to be a fun segment. I know some of the staff, they've checked it out and was looking at it, maybe asking some questions too. And it's going to be a fun segment, as well as we have some other segments. You probably won't see them today, but throughout the year, maybe the next show or a couple shows down the road, you'll end up getting some new segments too. And of course, there's new sound effects and all that type of stuff that I've been working on for the last couple weeks, making sure that we're at the top of our game as far as podcast content and Eve Echoes content too. So we are considerably one of the better EE content creators, I do want to say, even though it's low effort as it is. And I just feel like I'm rambling on. But anyway, let's go into the official Eve Echoes news. All right. So to break into the year, I see the official EE Discord made a 2025 New Year's Blessing channel. And if you're banned on that Discord, like I am, you're not really missing much. Though I do want to say, Maru had posted this. It's the beginning of a new year coming again. Do you have any expectations or blessings for the future journey of Eve Echoes? Share your blessings for Eve Echoes in the 2025 in this channel. And let's celebrate the new year together with Concord. And so it looks like there's an event with rewards being distributed within the next 2 weeks. We will select lucky players from all those who send blessings to receive mysterious prizes. Oh.
Ooh. Mysterious prizes, huh?
Yeah, mysterious.
That mysterious prize was no soup for you, because as soon as they released like this thing where you had to react to it, like instantly gone. Every reward was gone, like instantly. Like there was no way to even 5,000 skill points.
Well, yeah, and it looks like some quay for whatever this
a splendid
drink was.
Coupon for you. Blessings upon you. Here's a splendid coupon.
Here's a 25% off coupon.
Here's 50.
Right, and then
here's 50 emails in your inbox saying that your splendid coupon expired. There's your reward. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Speaking of, this latest update changed our inbox stuff. So now we have rewards tabs and combat tabs and all that. So they did make a note, for sake of fairness, players who have already received the 2024 Christmas mystery gift will not be able to receive this reward. Okay, so big whoop there. I do know that they did some sort of giveaway recently. Maybe it was for Christmas. They did like
this was the reaction thing on Christmas Day. Yeah,
they had like 10 gifts, and one person got 6 out of 10. One person got 6 of the gifts out of the 10.
That's lucky.
Yeah, no, it's just stupid how it was done. Discord
poorly
exactly,
executed.
Barrick. Yeah.
Yeah,
Have they learned nothing from how when I would do trivia on the Echo on their Discord, when I would do trivia and do giveaways, did they not learn anything from that? Like that's kind of I don't know. Maybe I'm biased because I think I'm awesome, but I think that's the way to do it. Is that way.
It's hard to program a bot to do Taylor. You know.
I mean, they could just ask
very
me.
Hard.
They could just ask
Well, no,
me.
but with the advances of AI, I'm sure this year we can come up with a AI version of Taylor Rick by the end of 2025.
I am absolutely positive that will happen.
The new Terminators.
I might already be a bot right
whatever.
now, Barrick. You're right. I could be a bot right now.
Hold on. This is something a bot would say. Remember that from Fallout?
Yes.
And it's like, are you a synth? No. Why are you asking that? That's something a synth would say.
Exactly.
You know? Oh, that stuff is so great. It's so good. But if you need any voice manipulation or anything, just send me whatever you want to say, or say it, like record it, and then I could turn you into a robot. That's no problem. Heck, I could turn you into a girl. And literally have it saying the same thing in context, everything. So it's amazing some of the tools that I have now.
D Sandwich in chat says somebody throw a picture of a traffic lights at Taylor. As if that'll screw up the bot, right? I think I'm
Rambo,
one step above that. Throw a CAPTCHA at me and I might have a problem.
Yeah, you should do
It's
like
sentient.
a girl content creator voice with Rambo and join the content creator program as like a Barbie or whatever.
I wonder if we could exactly, Barrick. Oops. I'm totally exposed. Oh, that's great. Anyway, okay, back into what you're talking about, Rambo. Go ahead.
Yeah.
This is
so
what we do. All the things that we're going to change in Season 6, by the way, the new things we're going to do, formats, this part here isn't going to change. I'm going to constantly interrupt Rambo's nice, neatly done, laid out segments with whatever and go completely off on a Taylor tangent. Just
this is why we can't script it.
There's no script. Yeah.
In the intro, it's all ad lib. We don't script anything, and I realized this. I realized this early on in the podcast, doing this with Taylor, is he does not do well on scripts.
No.
Most recently, with the debate that we had with Jacoba and the panel there, like I had it scripted out for stuff like Taylor to specifically say something, and I'm
never
like,
did.
oh man,
I never did.
They dropped the ball on it.
Wow.
But it is what it is. This is all part of the fun with it. We just can't. Plus, it's time
I
consuming.
also improvise everything.
Well, then there's great questions that come up on Discord while we're talking that makes this the best. Like Archer Finn with his excellent question, which we can dive deep into right now. What do you guys think of all the ships?
All of them. Wow.
All of them. They're fantastic. Okay, next segment.
What do you think of all the ships?
Ugly.
Well, I think every Mars ship is
10 out of 10
half-baked.
question.
That's it. The end.
Yeah. What do you guys think of all the ships?
Exactly right. I mean, it's just complete.
Which ships?
No, that's the joke, Rambo. That's the joke. Okay, steer back now. Steer.
All right.
Game news.
Coming back.
See, it would not be a EO1 podcast. One, without chaos, and two, without dubstep.
Without the intro, dubstep, and then chaos. Exactly. Yeah.
That's. I lost count how many different iterations I have of that intro. I have so many different ones that I lost count. So I'm gonna try staying to a single one. I don't want to change it every week because it's a lot of work. But I'm gonna try and stick to that one. So if you ever in the staff chat, if I ever say I have a new intro, you have to stop me. Like,
okay.
No, stop with the intros. Like, I don't want to spend more time on them.
I literally have
it's crazy how that first one has evolved, though.
I literally have a shortcut key, the number 1 and the number 2, to slide what's in OBS's recording into different scenes, and I keep forgetting about it. And I typed in 100% and just swiped us over to commercial break. Oops, sorry.
Wait a minute.
Maybe that's not a good idea.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah. Oops.
I think I seen that in a previous podcast episode last year, where a commercial break had come up. And I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, it was an accident. Like totally. All right, back to game news. Enough chaos.
Back to game news.
God. Where were you?
All right.
So in 2025, the episodes will always start 30 minutes
yeah.
after everyone gets everything out.
Exactly. Well, no, we're not. There's so much. Yeah, we're
And the soundboards will only grow.
We're 15 minutes. Oh, as long as they don't grow into all the different shows we did for the Christmas, all the different songs we did for the Christmas episode. I got so much feedback on some of that music.
You did?
I did,
dude. Savarda really liked his song.
That was good.
I ended up giving all that. I gave all that stuff to him for the Secret Santa, giveaway that we did in the corp. So that was pretty cool. It ended up being like the second most estimated in price in the corp.
Nice.
Which, I mean, I didn't want it to be that. I mean, there's other people that I think the only person that got something that was worth more was a purple implant in total, but otherwise.
Now, before you jump into what we've been trying to get into for the last 5 minutes, I do have one question. Is the EONE voicemail still active?
Oh, God.
Yes,
leave message?
It is.
Because you should just leave that active and we just one show to see how many, let it go for like the whole year and then just play everything in the one episode.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the phone number is anymore.
Yeah, it's up in our it's on the Discord and
somewhere
on the channel.
Somewhere.
Let's see, it's on the Discord.
Leave us a voicemail. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Holy
there
crap,
it is.
I was gonna say I have a voicemail, but it's one of the default ones. But I do have text messages.
You can call us now at 928-421-3757. Operators are not standing by. We will not answer the phone, and we will likely forget about this by next week.
I actually get text messages. Cancel this. Somebody text messaged the freaking phone number.
This is the segment we didn't know we needed.
Yeah, I didn't know that this was going to get brought up at the point, but anyway. Donald Trump's plan to increase taxes. Sure. That's the last text that I got. Anyway.
Oh, God.
Anyway,
that's
okay.
hilarious.
So, yeah, we have a show phone number. You can call it. You could leave a voicemail. You can text it. I'll end up replying back to it. I didn't check it too often because the voicemails kind of faded away. But, yeah, we have that capability on this show. And, of course, if you leave a voicemail, whether it's a question or talking shit or something, I'll play it on the show. I don't care. I'll play it on the show. If it's relevant to Eve Echoes or us as the show, I'll play it on the show. So there you go. Call the number. It's on the Discord. All right. Shall we talk about patch notes yet?
Yeah, let's get
as far as... Oh, hold on. I need to pause that again. On the last episode we had last season with my 5-minute intro, and there was a point in the show where I said where we're going to be losing subscribers. We actually did lose a subscriber, and then we gained one. We did. We lost a subscriber, and then we gained one.
Someone rage quit at that moment, and then a few seconds later decided I better come back.
You know what? I wish I could find the timestamp on that. Like, at what point of the video did you go -1 and listen to that segment? Because I guarantee it was probably after one of the songs or at the start of one. Probably. Like, we're going to play another song. And this dude's like, nope. I'm going to unsubscribe right now. I ain't doing this. So, anyway, it's all fun. Subscribe to the channel if you want.
Yep.
All right. As far as official Eve Echoes announcements, they had their Christmas celebration, their whole surprise gift thing. And that was really it since the last time that we've had a show. And, of course, they had the 2025 New Year Blessing thing, and that channel is still open and available for people to... Oh, no. You can't even type in that anymore. But, anyway, doesn't matter.
It's there
we got patch notes.
It's there for you to read, so that's important.
Happy New Year. I'll save you the reading material. I'll just say Happy New Year. We got patch notes. So, Taylor... hit us with the patch notes.
All right.
The first.
Yep.
And it's already stuff we already know, but please.
It is nothing new.
Let's go
honestly. It is nothing new, but we are going to go through the actual patch because that's the actual, like, hey, this is cool stuff, and it's here and it's live. So let's talk about it. The patch was on 1.1, and it is, of course, new content, the Fortizar. The Fortizar is a combat-type corporation citadel developed based on the latest spaceship and structure technology, possessing strong defensive capabilities, blah, 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 blah. Hey, it has 2 things that came out that day that you can fit to it. One is a jump drive, and one is a territorial claim unit. All right? You can dock everything in this station, by the way, including supers. So every ship that's currently available in the game can be docked into this station. Once the station is actually anchored, the anchoring takes 72 hours, so it's not a slow thing. So you're gonna have to anchor it. Then you're gonna have to install the jump drive. You don't necessarily have to install a territorial claim unit, but you do have to install the jump drive. And before you anchor it, you don't have to use it. You don't have to install the jump drive. Well, anyway, let me back up for a second. You cannot anchor this unless you unlock the corporation tech for it, which is a level 5 corp tech at the very bottom. If you go down and look at it or scroll down, it's there. It is called the Fortizar operating system. So you have to have level 5 glory unlocked, and you have to have that tier unlocked, or that skill anyway unlocked, just to operate the Death Star. Yes. It is 32 billion ISK to click that to unlock it, and I forget what the Corp Tech points are, but it's not a huge amount. I don't even think it's barely more than like 1 week's worth of turn-ins if you do the max points. So it's not horrible in terms of unlocking it if you're not ready for that. But there are 2 other Corp Techs after that also apply to it. The next level is level 6, and another one at level 7. You have to have those unlocked, level 6 Corp Tech and level 7 Corp Tech, in order to even train into those. Each one has 10 levels. And if you max that out, you get another 5 light years on the jump range for the first level, and you get another 5 years on jump range for the second level. So that's 10 light years added to the base stats. Now you may be wondering, what are the base stats? Because it doesn't tell you that in the game. You go look everywhere in the game about it, and it doesn't tell you that anywhere. So unless you've already got one built, and you technically cannot have one built yet, even using donuts. If you put it in the build, the moment the server came up and you used donuts to speed up the build, you don't have one until tomorrow. That's the fastest anybody can have one, is until tomorrow. Maybe like tonight, depending upon your, like late night, depending upon your time zone. But basically anytime between, I don't know, about 4 hours from now into tomorrow is the earliest that anybody could have one that's actually built, finished, and ready to go anchor somewhere. At that point, then you'll know for sure what the base stats jump range is, which, by the way, is 6 light years. So, fully...
I was going to make a joke, and I was going to say, there's already some for sale on the trade discords. There's already one for sale at Gita.
Yeah, so fully maxed out, this thing will go 16 light years. That's a long effing time. Long effing
So what you're saying,
range.
You said 4 hours, basically the soonest someone will have this made?
Absolute soonest that someone will have this made is about 4 hours from now into tomorrow. Yeah, and I don't think anybody's going to have one today. I don't think that's, I mean...
I was going to say, yours isn't going to come out of the oven in 4 hours?
Oh, I'm not going to confirm or deny when mine comes out of the oven, but or my 2 anyway. But you can only have one per corporation, by the way.
I do have one question
sure.
about these. And I don't know if it's in since no one's built one, I don't know if it's in the secret notes or the official notes. Obviously, these things can jump around.
Yep.
Are they reinforceable like other stations?
Yes.
Now, once it's reinforced, right, that first reinforcement stage, can you jump it to out of where you know where it is, basically? Okay.
No. So it has to be fully healed in order to jump. It's a 3-hour timer to jump it, and once you've jumped somewhere, you got 15 days until you can jump it again. Good fucking luck with that. Please, someone try to jump one into my area. I'll just have a heyday with that. It'll be fucking great. 15 days, yes, before you can jump it again. Yep. There it is right there. Jump drive restart time. Bajillions of seconds. I don't know why they don't just say 15 days right there. They just have to lay out a whole bunch of numbers with no commas to make it 2 seconds extra harder to figure out. I don't know.
Yeah.
NetEase for you.
Suck if you my hand slipped and you jump it.
I'm sure it's going to give you like 5 fucking warnings or something before you can actually do it. But the most surprising thing about this isn't its capabilities. It isn't its, where can it be anchored, where can it not be anchored, because they're pretty explicit about that. Although I think some testing has to be laid out to know, exactly what they mean by some of this, because you never know until you actually do it. I think the most interesting thing is how freaking cheap it is to build. It is not an expensive build. It's not difficult at all. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to build. The most difficult thing about it is the Corp Tech, because that's a lot if you don't already have 5 unlocked, especially if you don't have 6 or 7 unlocked. Because unlocking 6, I want to say, was like 64 bill just to unlock that whole level to get to it, and then unlocking 7 is 128 bill to get to that level. So it's please throw a few in Declan, Archie. That'd be great. I'd love it. Please, I want the first kill of one of these. I don't want the first lost mail. I want the first kill mail for one of these to go to silent for sure.
At least you cannot autopilot with this.
No, you can't gate it. It's jumping around only. So can't activate engine preheat when it's in war state. Cannot jump while fitted with the territorial claim unit. Cannot jump from low sec to can only jump from low sec to low sec or from null sec to null sec. So if you anchor this in null sec, it's a null sec structure at this point. If you anchor it in low sec, it's a low sec structure at this point. So you can anchor this in low sec and presumably in a system where there's an NPC station as well. You're not going to be able to claim SOV there by putting the that's true, D-Sandwich. You're not going to be able to claim sovereignty in low sec, at least I don't think. Wouldn't that be hilarious if they screwed up the code and you can claim SOV in low sec? Like you can just take over like Villicin or something. Like
something is going to be bugged in the mechanics. We just don't know it yet.
Something is
you might be able to jump gates. You might be able to claim SOV in low sec. Heck, you might be able to go to Jita, planet right next to the ITC. So I don't know.
It would be really funny if they just misplaced the decimal point in the jumps, and it's only like, instead of 15 days, it's like
15
1.5 hours.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Right. Well, if you put you just put a decimal point in there somewhere on that, what is it? 12,960,000. Is that 12,960,000? Is that 1.2? I forget now. Someone look at that real quick. Is it 1.2 million seconds or is it 12 million seconds? Almost 13 million seconds. 1.2. Okay. So, I mean, they would have to have misplaced a couple decimal points, honestly, to really slim that up enough to where 5 days I'd be fine with, but not the 15.
I have faith. I have faith in them that they can
screw it up. Yeah, that's true. My faith is misplaced. I should really.
Every 15 seconds.
So, what do you guys think? You think this is a good addition to the game, or do you think this is a bad addition to the game?
With the changes that they're making to the whole, ISK sync sort of thing with the corporations and the standings, all this, I think they brought this in here because they want all these big conglomerates to shrink down in size, and I think that's why they made it. I think it'll be good for those smaller corporations, but I don't know. It just feels funny that you can build a station, something like this big, easier than you could build one of those faction battleships with all the new materials.
Yeah, it is easy. Well, I mean, if you already had a bunch of these materials on hand, the orange balls or whatever they were, they take a long time to build. If you didn't already have them on hand, then you're going to be wasting like 2 weeks, 3 weeks just to build them. So it's going to take you a while. But I just happen to have enough to build 2, really. Actually more, but anyway.
See, with this, I don't know. I like the new content. If this is beneficial to small corps,
I don't see how it's beneficial to a small corp. Explain to me why you think it's beneficial to a small corp or a small entity, guys. I don't see that at all. And here's 2 reasons why it's not beneficial to a small corp. Number 1, the corp tech is huge to get it. I mean, it really is. A level 5 is not that big of a deal.
Corp Tech is what, 5?
Yeah, but if you don't already have 5, you're investing all that to get to there. It's cheaper for you to build a T3 Citadel, and faster for you to build a T3 Citadel. If you're going to put a Citadel somewhere, put a Citadel down and actually make it be useful. Because guess what? You anchor this somewhere, you don't get, and you claim SOV. You can't put add-on structures on this, not yet anyway. They say they're going to add that. I forget where the notes are, but they say they're going to add that at some point. Fortizar has no additional energy anchor points, but will gain capabilities similar to add-on structures through various integrated modules and corporation tech in the future. So this is a very expensive Citadel. This is not for small. I don't care what they say. So this is not for small corps.
This is what I'm basing it off of. They have this in the description: to reduce the pressure on small and medium-sized corporations and alliances, Concord plans to gradually introduce exclusive construction blocks that can only be used by small and medium-sized corporations and alliances, enhancing their combat and production capabilities. That's part of the Fortizar. So
yeah,
but
I don't.
Yeah, and they also date that we had to do the alliance, kind of make big corporations to fit in alliance to reduce
I would like to see like multiple of these being placed in a system rather than just one. I suppose it's one per corp, but you can have multiple in a system, right?
You can have multiple in a system as long as someone hasn't claimed sovereignty. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, NPC systems, non-SOV systems.
So yeah, non-SOV systems can.
You could have like trailer parks of Fortizars.
For what reason? What I'm getting to. For what reason though? This is why. I mean, other than just to have them stored there so they can move somewhere. I get that point. Well, but other than that,
you could use this as a forward
to your corp,
or you could use it as a forward base of operations for large-scale war.
Right.
Drop this or jump it into enemy's territory that doesn't have SOV, and now you have a base in their heart that you can basically attack.
Does this sound like something that would be good for a small or medium-sized corporation or alliance?
Oh yeah.
You know what? I don't want to use your shitty ass Citadel. This is it. I don't want to use your shitty ass Citadel, and I want to dock in my own. So I'm going to build this, spend 42 billion ISK on it, whatever, spend 15 days on it, and then I'm going to place it right next door to your shitty ass Citadel I don't want to dock in, and then claim it as my system.
It doesn't work that way, but yeah.
Maybe it's maybe they mean for the small RMT bot, corporations.
Oh, so that's true. Yeah, for those sections of AOA that they've just broken off because they can't sustain the alliance fees, or there's more than 3 alliances anyway, so you can't blue everybody. So for those little entities that are broken off from the bigger entities, this is a way to give them a Citadel that they can move out of the way if someone's coming through for 15 days before they put it back. I don't know. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I think this is a great addition to the game. I think this is going to be fantastic. I think they're missing a few things with it. I think that cooldown of 15 days is vastly too long. Maybe they will add that to the Corp Tech tree to cool it, to speed up the cooldown. I'm fine with that as well. I think that their inability to go into the drone lands, because you can't put these in the drone lands, I think that's a bad idea. I think that's horrible. I think these need to go into the drone lands. I think it should be perfectly cool. I think it should be perfectly fine to jump one of these into Ethereum Reach, use it for 3 or 4 days, and jump it out before that stupid Saturday, it's going to get shot by a bunch of NPCs bullshit. like seriously, give me a way to get around that. I think that, and then just jump it to another area inside, like up to Cobalt or something, and then jump it back. I think that'd be hilarious, because now you got this moving target of things you're moving around, and I think that would add, because if it gets reinforced, then it can't jump, right? And so I think it'd still make drone lands pretty dangerous, though, Turkin. I think it'd make it pretty dangerous for anybody who anchors one in there. I understand that there's restrictions on it if there's a jammer up, right? But if you take the jammer down, you should be able to jump one of these into a SOV system. I'm all for that. And I know I'm opening myself up to attack from that by saying that if they implemented it. But I think if you want to crank up the pressure and you want to make it to where there's more war going on and there's more conflicts between one organization and another that are close by, that are small. You want to break them down, because that's the next part of this patch notes here, is them breaking down, trying to condense large organizations into smaller ones. If you want to do that and you want to create more conflict around the map, then these things should be able to jump right into somebody's SOV. 100%.
What would be more beneficial is if you could jump these. If you could jump these into a system that had SOV, like in other words, you could drop this in a system that already has SOV.
If it's yours. If it's yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you just take the jammer down and then jump it in. Sure.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like more of a chaos kind of way. That's why I was like saying, just, drop this. Oh, you have a station here. We're gonna put this station right next to your station, and we're gonna have station wars.
It cannot jump into SOV systems at all, Turkin. It cannot jump into SOV systems at all. That's what I'm saying. It should be able to, but it's not. You can't.
But for a small price of AUR.
Yeah, same money talks. There you go. I would consider your suggestion, so please throw that in the suggestions column.
To see what kind of services this station has and how it will be used.
Yeah. Or a future module. Sure, Barrick. Yeah. Something.
I think it's cool. I think it looks cool.
Oh, it looks really. I can't wait to see it in when it's dropped.
MK1 Star Laser.
I wish we could just change what our citadels look like. It's like, why can't I have a citadel that looks like a Fortizar? In
the future, they'll give it an AI core.
I just want a skin on my Citadel that makes it look like something that's not waifu related and also not a plain T4 Citadel. Yeah, can we get more skins, please? Can we get more skins? That's fine.
I'm still waiting for that. Yeah,
I want to turn my T4 Citadel into an Atron, please.
But not waifu skins. Hey, speaking of waifu skins, I got a POS waifu skin I'm trying to sell.
Nice. Way to advertise right in the middle of the patch notes.
That would actually be a really cool idea if you could take something like that, right? Like Titans aren't in the games yet. Right, but if you had a skin where it just your Citadel now looks like a, broken, Titan sitting there, and everyone's docking into the Titan, or like a mega ship. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so there's a lot in this. There's a lot here to kind of unpack. So let's unpack another thing with this too, which is I believe that because of the way they have structured Fortizars and the mechanics that they're using for them, especially this jump drive. As a module fitting to the station, I'm kind of leaning on. I really feel like Titans are going to be delayed. We've always talked about Titans kind of coming out at the Chinese New Year, or at least the next possible window is the Chinese New Year. I don't see that now. They have to release Keep Stars before they can release Titans, because that's the only place that Titans can dock in this game anyway. It will be. They'll dock and Keep Stars, and then they could release Titans. And just before the Keep Stars, and just say, well, they can dock in a T4 and just be stupid with it. We could be wrong here, but it's always looked to me like it was going to be Keep Stars and then 2 to 3 months later Titans, and we don't have Keep Stars yet. Instead, we have a Fortizar, and on top of that, we have this jump drive system, which kind of acts like a bridge if you really want to think about it, because there's no Sino here. You just go into the Fortizar somehow. We don't know what the mechanics of it are in terms of it actually working yet. But you just go into the Fortizar and you just go and select the system you want to jump to, and it jumps you there next to one of the planets that's where there's no Fortizar there. That's what it says it's going to do when it jumps you. So maybe that's how bridges are going to work on a Titan, to be able to pull or whatever. However they're going to wind up doing that. This is the first mechanic of that gives me an idea of how the Titan bridges anyway are going to work. And I think they want this in the game, and they want to work this mechanic out. Hell, who knows? Could try to anchor the Fortizar next week and put the jump drive on it, and then it not fucking work. So, yeah, right? It could be bugged. To me, it seems like we're going to be looking at the anniversary time frame for Titans. A whole nother 8 fucking months from now. And not in a month or two.
I don't know. Maybe April.
Well, some sort of build event's going to be. The Keep Stars are going to be there. Some sort of build event's going to be there. So it could be May. It could be April, May. But it's not. I highly. And there's another reason why, and I'll get to it when we get to the Photoshop time. there's another reason why I don't think they're going to release Titans anytime soon. So first off, this part here that ties into the Fortizars is my first clue on that end of it. So anything else on the Fortizars? The war decking stuff is actually in the code. It's in the game. So yeah, exactly. Chinese New Year's in a few weeks. That's too soon to put anything out, I think, for Titan. But it's January 31st. So roughly when it starts. So
real quick, do we want to theorize what we're going to see for the Chinese New Year's? Do you think we're going to get Dragon Chant and Supers in a box or anything like that?
We can. Let me timestamp that here real quick. Because it's not part of the patch notes. So okay, so and I'll just put
in a box.
I'll put the Photoshop time in here too, because this is part of that, right?
Voyage ceremony.
Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year. So, I mean, first and foremost, we're going to have new dreadnoughts for the Chinese New Year. Ooh. Navy dreads and fleet issue dreads. So you're going to get your Phoenix Navy issue. You're going to get your Naglfar fleet issue. And I'm positive they'll be in a box, because why not? But you will get new.
Interesting.
Yep. I don't think there's going to be a Covop faction dread, but it is going to be the Navy issue dreads. They're already in the game.
We're still waiting for our SOE capital. I'm sure that's coming down the line.
That's somewhere, yeah. The SOE capital that's in
These are the same ones. Yeah. Are these the same ones they introduced to EO a couple years ago?
Yep, exact same ones they introduced to EO 2-3 years ago. Yep, exact same ones. Don't have any idea how they're going to be built. I'm assuming you're going to wind up taking a Naglfar and turning it into a Naglfar fleet issue. I'm assuming you're going to need to use polymers or whatever else, the red balls, the gold balls, or whatever, to do it. Same type of mechanic as getting your Navy issue battleships will apply to the dreads. So that's coming. And that'll come at the Chinese New Year, I'm sure. And that's the other reason why I don't think we're going to see Titans. They're not going to release those at the same time as well, maybe they will. I 100% doubt it, though. Anything's possible, but I doubt it.
Yangjung Super when?
Yangjung Super when? Yeah, I really want an SOE Super that can fit an armor link.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Covop's cloak.
No.
-100.
Well, hey, yeah, Covop's cloak
Scanners.
on an SOE capital that can fit an armor link, and you're fucked.
Data scanners.
Bennett, you'll be able to do that when they bring out the ship containers. So at least another 4 or 5 years.
Right. Yeah, ship containers and ship naming.
Yeah. When they figure out when we can name our ships, that's probably when that's going to come out. But did you have any more info on any photoshopped images of these new ships coming up, or is that going to be another episode?
No, that'll be another episode.
Might be another episode. Okay.
The Photoshop stuff I have is what I already put in the what we already have in the staff chat, which is the next stuff, which will probably come out for Chinese New Year, and that's new destroyers.
Oh, yay. I'm sure Benzi's going to be so happy.
Whoa. Finally.
New destroyers. Yeah, and these destroyers look like, when you look at the stats, I don't know if somebody can find those in the staff chat and post it real quick, but these new destroyers look kind of like the Marshal, the Pacifier, and the Enforcer that we have, where you get a bonus to merits and you have bonuses to every weapon type there is. It looks like there's a destroyer version of that coming. So, but it can fit. It can fit a bomb. They can fit a bomb.
Wow.
Bomb launcher and launch bombs. So that's kind of an interesting.
I see the Executioner as a destroyer. That's just the name of it.
The name is a placeholder, yeah. And there's new bomb tactical module coming out. So they're getting rid of all of the bomber mode button push and putting an actual module in there. There it is.
You've seen it here first on the on-air chat. This is one of the new destroyers coming out.
A destroyer with 5 high slots. I don't know. I'm assuming one of those is the bomber to put a bomb launcher on it. 4 mid slots, 5 low slots, 3 and 3 for the rigs. If you could fit 5 large torps on a destroyer, that would be insane. I'd love to see that. But yeah, bomber Desi. So with Covops, yep.
Yeah. I'm copying over these images that we have here in the on-air chat. You can see some of the bonuses that they have on air.
Yeah. And the way the bonuses read, it reads like one of these Concorde ships.
Yeah, they got freaking everything on it.
Yeah, it reads like that. So it could very well be a Concorde style, and it'll be in a box. It'll be in a fucking box.
Look at this.
It'll be hard to build. It'll be some insane IP value, but yeah,
Laser
20%
damage,
large
cannon
torp damage. Yeah, look at that. Plus 20% per level of large torp damage. I mean, holy shit. And if you can fit 5 of them, I doubt it. It'll probably be 4 plus the bomb.
Yeah.
How about
you can have like small guns, small cannons, a few torpedoes. Be like this.
I don't remember its flight. Yeah, look at its flight velocity. That's not bad. Yeah. That's not horrible. That's not great, but it's not horrible. 305 is not bad for your base value.
What do you think the overall DPS is going to be when it's tricked out?
Probably $4,000.
Yeah, back up to where bombers. 4,000.
It's going to be ridiculous.
It'll be the DPS will be back up there where bombers were when you could actually have your full, before they nerfed them a little bit.
Well, so there was those in our photoshops, and then we had
the base warp speed is what? Like, huh?
Oh, here you go.
That's pretty quick.
Here's another one that this one has the Executioner Destroyer. Also has minus 100% cloak lock delay.
Right. I mean, it's a bomber. It's a bomber. It's spec'd out like a bomber. It's spec'd out like a Concorde ship. I don't know how you would use I don't know. Maybe someone's going to figure out a way to get your merit points with it. But,
basically a bomber with a bigger signature radius.
Yeah.
How about these?
Yeah, let's talk about those since we're getting into the Photoshop time. Here's your implant reset stuff that's coming. We've got some good Photoshop on how that's going to work. It's a skill chip kind of thing that they're doing where you'll get a reset your individual implant or a generalized implant. I don't know how that works. I don't know how these two will be used, but yeah, those are there as well. So it'd be very interesting.
I like how this one is just the focus crystal reset.
Yeah, I don't know why
they had to make that one, and then they made a general common reset chip. So
I know the initial conversation around implant reset was going to be they were going to reset it only if you had to be up to a level 25 to reset it. And now that they've got these two different kind of chips in here, I'm kind of wondering if you can get a general common reset somehow that just resets 10 levels or something, and then the ones that are specific by implant will just take whatever level you're at as long as it's above the 25 and reset it to 0. I mean, they could change that mechanic up.
I'm calling it now. There will definitely be some kill mails with these being carried.
If they're carryable, yeah. If they're carryable, you bet. Everything should be carryable. They should all be. Your Plex should be carryable. Your IP.
There's been times where I've seen people have dropped Plex in kill mails.
Yep. Because they put them out like that at one point. Yeah, they should.
At one point, that was obtainable like that. Yeah.
Yep. It should 100% be like that.
If you can have ship skins and skill chips or GUs and all that stuff in your inventory, this can be too.
Which I'm sure everybody saw that on your tactical defense implant, you can now, the plus symbols are there to put GUs in there, although the only thing that's going to be fit are the new advanced GUs that are coming still. We're probably 2 weeks out from that. Not next week, but the week after. So you'll have specialized GUs in your tactical module, or in your tactical defense implant coming real soon. No, it's 2 weeks out. If they do it next week, I'd be surprised because they're still doing this, or trying to anyway, do this cadence of 1 week you've got the patch and everything, and the next week they don't. It's just the server doesn't even go down, and they just kind of roll through a rolling update kind of thing, and then the next week is when they take the servers down for a major patch. That's their cadence they're trying to get back onto. So. We have 2 more major patches basically before the Chinese New Year. We've got the next one, which will probably be the implants, the advanced GUs for tactical defense will probably come out. Either these bombers will hit or the dreadnoughts will hit. They'll probably save those 2 for the next patch, which is the Chinese New Year one. So there's your upcoming 4 weeks worth of content.
And whatever event that they have going at that time too.
Yep.
So.
However they do that with whatever events they put. I don't have any background information on the events coming. One more thing for Photoshop that I don't actually have a screenshot for, and then we can get back into the patch notes because we're not done there. And maybe a Chinese New Year thing too, part of what's coming, which is there's a new capital anomaly coming. It's in the code. That's why I don't have a screenshot for it. It's just in the code. There's no graphics. There's no nothing else, but there's underlying code for it. And the way that it reads, and I could be wrong because I'm just trying to parse code and try to understand what the hell it says, but the way that it reads is it looks like it's a version of a CNDED or CTR, a capital test range, that's got more enemies in it, that has waste seekers in it, and potentially has other types of new ships in it. I can't really tell. Now, it could turn out that it's not actually a gated and like a CTR is, but there's just an acceleration gate, kind of like the old Executor Dead Spaces are. So hard to really say. Could be that there's no gate period and it just appear in space. I don't know. But it is a new capital anomaly. So
I have that conversation pulled up. I can read it. I'm not going to share the images or anything,
sure.
But it says capital super expert level cosmic anomaly, an extremely high difficulty cosmic anomaly that has waste seekers of various ship tonnages, requires capsuleers with top tier piloting skills, and is recommended to use ships of capital ship tonnage or higher for combat. Super expert level cosmic anomaly requires capsuleers to have a certain level of ships and module operation skills.
Did that one say and maybe this is where it's acceleration gates or something instead of a CTR gate, but doesn't that say in there something about they have a range of 500 kilometers? In that conversation, or was that somewhere else? I remember having a conversation somewhere about some of these notes where the actual anomaly had a range of attack beyond what is normal. Different update notes about the 500. Okay, thanks, Barrick. Maybe I'm getting the two confused. I'm reading a lot of different shit over the last 2 weeks.
It almost seems like you have to qualify for these, where you have to click a button or something, and it gives you a good job. You've gained access to the expert difficulty, and it's got like a claim successful message on it as well, and it actually welcomes you to it.
Yeah, it's different.
So I don't know if it's different there.
Maybe it's a mission.
As far as a range
like
goes.
A lab.
Right, yeah, maybe like a lab.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. It's like a mission like a lab.
I'm trying to see this one about...
Which would tell me then it's not a fleet, almost not a fleet activity then.
I was going to say, if that's the case, so you'll just need 2 supers instead of 1.
Yeah.
To do it.
Or a DR. That's true. Like, there's a lot of ways. There's not a whole lot there for us to really... We're just kind of grasping at what all that means. All we know for sure, it's a new capital anomaly. It could be a DR. I doubt that, but it could be.
I don't see anything about a range.
Yeah, I think the range is somewhere else, like Barrick said.
If they really wanted to make some of these things super challenging, right? Do the same thing, the fighters and the waste seekers, but like final wave, like when you enter the anomaly, it took a scan of your super or whatever ship you're in, and then a mirror of that is also in the fleet as well.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad.
That would be challenging.
Somehow they have to. We're literally grasping at straws. Yeah, that's kind of you're true. That's true, Troopa. Because that's all we've got. That's all they've given us to grasp. Right? So I mean, what else are we supposed to do? But they've got to have something at some point that at least I would, from a design standpoint, want to have something at some point that ties into Titans. I.e., we've had this debate before about Titan debris versus Dreadnought debris, or some other sort of farmable item that goes into Titans that are needed for the build that's not there now, so that there's no way to just put one into build day one kind of thing, right? That's how they did it with supers, in a way anyway. They kind of did, kind of didn't, but there was new materials they put out that you had to go and farm now, right? So like the ship capital experiment things, and the neural links and all that stuff you got from the boxes that dropped in CTRs. Only drop in CTRs now, or the boxes you buy. But there's got to be something like that, and I kind of look at this and wonder if this is the next start of that, in terms of this is where some of those new items will drop. But I don't know if they would want to precede the market that far in advance. So I don't know. Just a speculation on that.
Yeah, this is all speculation. Not to be clickbait or anything, but
it's 100% clickbait. I'm here for the clickbait. I'm just We all know
fake
that
news.
We all
Photoshop.
know that. Yeah, exactly. We all know that the things we talk about on this show do not come real 2 weeks later or 4 weeks later, like they have for the past 2 years. Like it just. Yeah.
And history definitely proves it. For sure.
Exactly. So.
Okay, shall we finish up these patch notes?
Yes, let's finish up the patch notes. Back to the patch notes. Let me go type in the timestamp there for everybody to get back into it. Yes, I'm doing timestamps religiously now, I hope, all year long. Okay, so the next thing on the patch notes, which is in part of a previous conversation we had with how they're trying to make things smaller, was the corporation and alliance diplomacy updates. So, you can only have, your alliance can only have up to 3 other alliances set blue. That's your max blue count on alliances. You can't have 4, can't have 5. Like literally doesn't allow you. And if you have more than that, then it literally means that none of them apply until you go and correct that. So when the patch hit, if you had 4 alliances or 5 alliances blue, it just kind of said, no, I don't think so. You don't have anything set blue until you go and fix that. Nothing applies. I don't know how well that worked. I heard some people say, well, I didn't even get charged, and I had 5 blue or whatever. And then on my end, we already had everything set up to accommodate for all this in Silent Alliance, in the Silent Fed. And I still got charged 4 times what I should have been charged. So I've got a ticket in on that. Billions of ISK just gone for no fucking reason. Anyway.
Oh.
So, but it's up to 3, and it gets more expensive by each one. If you just set 1 alliance friendly, that's 500 million per week. If you set 2, it's 1.5 billion a week. If you set 3, it's 3 billion a week. I got charged 7.2 billion. So, on Wednesday, I don't know where that number fucking comes from. So, we had 2 alliances set, and we had the 10 free corps as well. We didn't have anything above that. So there's corporate in your alliance standings right now. We're just talking about the alliance side. In your alliance standings, you can have anywhere from 1 to 10 corps set blue, and those are free. Once you go from 11 to 20, it's 200 million ISK in total every week. So you can, it's pretty cheap to get 20 set. That's chump change. That's too small in my opinion. That should be more. And 21 to 30 is 500 million in total every week, so not a whole lot. So it's a total of 3 alliances and 30 corps. So that's I don't know. I think everybody has different feelings on that, different thoughts about how that should work. I think the ISK amount is a little low on the 3 friendly alliances. I think it should be a little higher. And I think it should be higher on the 11 to 20 to 21 to 30 as well. But that's my 2 cents on it. Corporations have, and they didn't say anything in the patch notes about the standing updates for the Alliance, but it was before all that. Corporations have similar settings, and it feels like it's a little bit more expensive they changed up what they were doing with the Alliances beforehand, too. So, anyway. I'm trying to scroll back and see what the actual verbiage on the corpse is. And I'm trying to find it. It's back here a little ways when they put it out. All the way back in November. Was that how far that was? Or was that before that? Basically, corporations can have the first 10 set blue for corporations as well. Alliances are going to cost them the same amount of money, so it's billions a week. So really, at a corporation level, it doesn't make any sense to set any alliances outside of the one you've got set. It's too expensive. It doesn't really. I mean, you can. It's very expensive. I don't know if anybody's really going to want to do that. And then for every corporation above that, 10, you're paying for it. I think it's 200 million or something. So it could be as high as $3 billion a week per corporation, but on the alliance level, it looks to be like you could go up to $6 billion a week, or six or so a week if you set everything. But it's a lot. It's a lot. What do you guys think of the alliance standings?
Yikes. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but at the same time, you can kind of understand what they're trying to get at. And, we've speculated it in the past, get these large alliances to break up a bit, smaller alliances, blah, blah, blah. ISK sync was brought up, try to get some of that ISK out of circulation. So, is there something like this in EO? Is this a long-standing thing, or do you think this would be temporary, and a year or so down the road, they'd be like, you know what, we don't actually need this feature anymore?
I don't think that's the case. I think they're going to implement it and leave it. I don't think it's temporary at all. I think it does what they want it to do, which is, it's an ISK sync, but it's not about the ISK sync. It's about trying to take a large organization that has 6, 7, 8 alliances that are all blue to one another, and make that just not possible anymore. Right? It's just not possible to have them blue. Now, I know everybody before this update was talking about, a lot of people anyway were talking about, we'll just set everybody red. Well, you can't do that either. The standings, you only have a max number of reds you can set, which is 3. You can only set 3 alliances red. You can't set 7 or 8 or whatever. So you can't do that either. And also, if you set them red, you can't use the ANSIs either. So to me, this does a very, very good job of trying, at least, to step one, to make things smaller, to limit things. It does cause a lot of headaches for organizations, Silent Fed included, where you kind of need to think about how you're doing things now, and you really need to take into consideration whether or not you really have to blue somebody or not, and who is holding what Ansiblex where. So it takes a little bit of different thought of planning, a little bit of juggling things around to make it all work. But the one part where it fails in 2 parts in my mind. The one part is it's not expensive enough once you get up to the 3rd alliance or that 20 corpse blued, right? It's not expensive enough to deter that, really, in my mind. Not on a large scale. It's not. It's chump change to a large group. The second part of it where it fails is, so what if a corporation or another alliance that's next door to us is gray, right, and not blued? If we don't need their ANSI networks, but we're still going to work together for mutual defense, then we still can. It doesn't stop that. So it doesn't stop an organization like Alphabet Soup in their 6 regions, or 9 regions in total. If you want to get finicky, you could say 11, but it's 9 regions in total. It doesn't stop all 9 of those regions from still working together. It makes them a little bit more expensive to do if they have 3 Alliance Blues, which is okay, but it doesn't really hurt the RMT empire. Let's be real. It does make things a little harder in terms of their Ansiblex network, but again, they could get around that. That's not that hard to get around. And it does force them to expand their corporation tech to get their corporations larger, because now you have a higher set limit of the number of corporations in your alliance, right? You can have 30 still, but it's exceedingly expensive to do that in one alliance. If your alliance has 30 corps in it, you're spending, I forget what the number is, but it's like $8 bill a week. $8 bill a week. Now you're starting to get to a number that's pretty high. 20 is not so bad. It's like $3 bill. That's not so bad. But doubling that or tripling that, that's kind of too much. So it does mean that there's some more planning there, but I think it still fails from the standpoint that people are going to find ways to work around it, that 2 organizations can still work together even though they're not blue. And that'll never change. And there's no way around that, obviously.
Yeah. We figured that there was going to be some workarounds. People are going to try finding some exploits or whatever you want to call it, trying to make it as cheap as possible, try and figure it out. But yeah, at the same time, this is the first phase too. So
it is the first phase.
If they deem it necessary, it would get more expensive probably. If they say, well, you know what, phase 1, we didn't see the results that we wanted to see, so let's make it more expensive.
Their phase 2 is to make alliances just 15 corps period max. That's their phase 2. So we'll see if they put that into play. If they put that into play, that's going to fucking hurt. That's going to hurt. So just no way to say that, because that's going to hurt. That's going to mean you have to have, for these larger organizations, you're going to have, regardless of ISK, you're going to have more alliances for your existing corps. Where do they go? So if your alliance right now already went from 30 to 20 to slim down, so you're not spending that exorbitant amount, then what do you do with those 5? Where do they go? So you have to force them to merge into the other 15 corps, right? I mean, and then those corps have to expand on the corp tech tree to fit more players. Insert Merger King meme here. I mean, yeah, artifact ISK sync. I know everything in this game is an ISK sync, all right? So you can always circle back to that. But in this case, what they're doing is ISK is a punishment to force you to do what they're wanting you to do. So you can call that an ISK sync if you want, but that's not technically what I would call it as an ISK sync. It's a method to force you to get to do what you want to do. Anyway, that's the alliance update. That's the standing updates. Let's see what else they do. They put in a balance adjustment. Currently, some nano cores. Yeah. Oh, this is the big one. This is This is 2 sentences in the patch notes that pissed more people off than I've ever seen in any other patch note history, and it's 2 freaking sentences. Currently, some nanocores yield generic materials after reprocessing. By this, they mean chips and cylinders, with others yielding materials for specific modules. To improve convenience, all nanocores will now yield clone-bound generic materials after reprocessing. So for those of you that were harvesting chips and cylinders and selling them and making money for your Omega or whatever, upgrading other nanocores from one alt to another, these are now clone-bound. Yeah, improve in quotations. Now, I saw more people lose their ever-loving minds over this than any other thing. I mean, more people talked about this than they talked about Fortizars.
Yeah. I don't know how this is improving convenience, but like you'd said, a lot of the people are using these for, they have an alt or something they want to upgrade the nanocore for or whatever. Or if they use this as their income generation, they're selling and reprocessing and of the materials, all that type of stuff. And then now they can't do that because it's all clone bound. I have a feeling that has something to do with bots, but no, I think I'm just going to point to that every time they make a change like this, and it's like, what does this have to do with botting? Well, and we can debate from there.
I think it's deeper than that. So I think, well, this'll 50% of you will agree with me and 50% of you will be pissed off right now, but I think this is about progression. If you look back at what they've done in the last 2 years to this game, whether it's implants, GUs, nanocores, ships in a box, the progression of getting you from wherever you were to maxing out that new thing they put out is exceedingly fast. It's exceedingly fast for just about everyone who tries. I'll put it that way. It's not fast for those who are not really spending. It's not fast for those who are just spending $5 a month on standard Omega, or maybe they're just grinding to get their Omega, and they're not spending any money that way, right? For those, it's the progression's not quite that fast. But for anybody who's even putting in $10 on the Concord stuff, or doing duo Omega and maybe buying this or that here and there piecemeal, not the whales, just a little bit. Maybe you've got 2 accounts and you're spending $20 per account every month, right? The real life, that's a lot of money for a lot of people. Without even getting into the whale category of things, your progression in this game has been exceedingly fast from doing that compared to what maybe their progression would think you should be, and especially compared to someone's progression who is not doing that. Someone who's just grinding on a tune or two for your Omega every month via PI, via this, via whatever, via the mechanism of selling chips and cylinders. And I think this slows that down. Whether it's the botting side of it or anything else, I think this is an intent to slow down that progression, at least a little bit. I don't think it really works. I think there's going to be plenty of chips and cylinders on the market. I don't think the sky is falling in the terms of chips and cylinders like everybody was saying. Like, oh my God, the only way we can get these now is paying for them. No, you can still get unclone bound chips and cylinders in the Concord store via the box, and you're just going to have to use it that way. You're just going to have to make sure you're ranking up your Concord points enough to be able to get enough of those every month to either progress on your end or sell them. And more people will start to do that. And so I don't think the overall flow of these is going to diminish. I just think for those who were specifically doing it as their own method to get Omega, yeah, that hurts. You're going to have to do it a different way now.
They'll have to play their alts more, equally as much as their main.
Something.
You know, and so then therefore it doesn't hurt as bad. Do the Concord pass at the same time. Do everything basically as the main would. You have to spend more time in it.
Yeah, there are guys who have a hell of a lot more SP after 4 years than I do. Sure. Play the game. God forbid. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! I can't believe I have to play this game 4 years into it.
You would be so fucking. Bradrick wouldn't be, but I think there's some people who'd be so shocked to learn, and it wouldn't be people who are like in this game every day or whatever else. But I'm pretty sure there are people who will be shocked to learn that there are thousands of players of this game who actively spend as much time as possible trying to figure out how not to play the game. I want to get all these things without ratting. How do I do that? I want to get all these things without mining. How do I do that? And they're going to spend hours trying to figure all that out instead of just going and doing it. I mean, the grind is real. This is a grinding game. It always has been. It always will be. So, anyway. Moving on. Concord Pass back up. It's season 34 for Concord. That's so many seasons. They reopened the Starbreak key store. So those of you that have those keys still can use them. That's kind of nice. I mean, they're just there. I don't think you can buy more, but you can get them. Or there's no way to get any more than what you already have. But they're there for you to use up, which is nice because there's so many events you go through with the different types of, gotcha thing, whether it's the key or a coupon or whatever else, they're gone and you never get those back because that event never comes around using that same thing again. So the little star coin things, you use them or you don't. And then they put some optimizations up. Nothing real super crazy there. I think a lot of people got some sort of an issue in their overview. This gets kind of like to a bug thing. It's not a bug fix. It's not listed here, but there's some sort of a bug on the overview where you weren't seeing like everything in the overview past 20 kilometers or maybe the only past 20 items. I think they were trying to refresh or speed up the loading of your overview or no overview. Yeah. So I don't know if it's I don't know if that's a thing that's still going on. I never experienced it on any of my emulators, and I never experienced it on my iPad or my phones. And I've been playing, so I mean, I never experienced an issue with the overview bug myself. I don't have that issue, but and some people are saying it happens on their iPad, but not their emulators, and some people are saying the other way around. So I'm not sure what that. Yeah, the new patch did something. I'm not sure what.
First time I'm hearing of it. I haven't seen or heard about that issue.
I've heard about it a lot. I just haven't noticed it myself.
For me, it was that you cannot go to the implants. And if you go to your implants page, the game will freeze.
Yeah, that was a problem for about 3-4 hours until they put a patch out to fix it.
And that was.
Well, they still haven't fixed the loading time when you're looking at your stuff in other stations. For that whole massive list.
Yeah, they'll never.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's they got to do something drastic to fix that. I mean, it's literally up to about a minute and a half on one of my tunes. Waiting on that. So I'm starting to set bookmarks on the normal place. Like, just screw it as far as. Oh, there's your dog. There's GB's dog. Yeah, contacts take that long, Gromire? Jesus.
With the whole optimizations, I think the noticeable one for me was that the mailbox notification thing, and and some of the mail that we had gotten in there, and it's like how they're structuring it now. So, I mean, it's cool and all, sure. the rewards. They have a specific tab for rewards. Combat log. It's really quick for combat log, but that's if you never like keep up with your mail too. Or if you delete those messages, then you have to go back into your combat history in your player screen. But otherwise, I suppose it's something where they filter it, they kind of sort it out for you, so then you can get to your mail quicker, or seek out certain kill mails that you want to keep or share faster.
All right, I think that's it on the patch side. They did put something in where they said fix the issue where it might fail to replace fighters in the Corporation Clash battlefield. Anybody who's ever been in the Corp Clash in a super and can't get the fucking fighters to even show up in a tube, reload, or use them, hopefully that fixes it. We'll see. I highly doubt it.
Yeah, sorry about the dog.
No worries. All good. He was just saying hi.
Yep, just saying hi.
Saying hi. All right. Cool. I think that'll wrap it up for the official news. We've been on that for like over an hour. Over an hour. So
we got two more segments. We got two more segments. We're an hour and 15 in, and we got two more segments. Let's go.
We'll get into community news, and I don't think there's really too much for community news, Taylor, unless you have something that I might not know about. But it's kind of just normal operations in New Eden right now, with people kind of doing the usual. You see kind of the usual gate camps and all that type of stuff. As far as wars goes, there's nothing like really big going on as far as wars. I know the Rainbow team is out there doing content. I forget if you wanted to hit on that. Yeah, the slops.
Yeah, I'm going to refrain from saying too much about Rainbow Fleet, other than it's excellent to see. It's doing good work. It's killing a lot of capitals. I'm going to refrain on saying anything about that until probably next week.
Cool. All right. Then another thing that had come up this last week is I wanted to highlight was another Eve Echoes content creator. And I know, Taylor, you had shared this video with the Alliance about the most dangerous regions in New Eden, released by Gromire, a content creator for Eve Echoes. I don't think he's an official content creator on the Eve Echoes Discord. I haven't been over there to pay attention enough, but I know he does his occasional content, mostly solo PvP. But he had released this video recently, just a few days back, about his opinions and his rankings of the most dangerous regions in New Eden. And it's actually a pretty good watch if you've never seen something like that. And I've never seen a video like that up until then. I was like, okay, wow, this is actually really interesting. And the first part one was about 30 minutes because he did two parts. And part one was about 30 minutes, and he went over, some of the regions there, talked about it, what they typically like to, it's kind of like PvP intel in a way. You could use it as you wish, but it's like, okay, which alliances will try and trick you into a gate camp and catch you? Which alliances are quick to chase you down? Which alliances are most likely to drop capitals on you? You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And, he breaks it all down in his videos. And so I want to give him a shout out. And actually, he's in the audience.
He is.
Listening to the show right now.
He is.
And he had agreed, actually. I'd asked him earlier. He had agreed to come on and kind of give us a background.
Excellent.
And talk about that.
That's a surprise.
Talk about that video.
Good.
So, Gromire, I invited you to speak on our stage here. What's up, Gromire? First time on the show.
Oh, hello. Can everybody hear me?
Good? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Were we talking about B-Town? Is that what we're talking about?
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
Episode 69 on B-Town. No.
Just checking, in case you wanted to discuss it.
Gromire, I saw that video. It actually, I subscribed my EONE YouTube channel to your to your content channel so I could keep up with your content.
Sweet, appreciate it.
After that video had released, I was like, that is really good content. I would definitely like to see more, different kind of content like that. It doesn't have to be always rankings or anything like that, but this is the first time I seen it, so I wanted to praise you on that as far as a good video and give you a shout out. I know Taylor had shared it with the Silent Alliance because they do pride themselves in their home defense, and it just so happens to be that Deck is your highest rated, danger rated rank in the video. I don't mean to spoil it for part 2, but it is pretty hostile territory when it comes to that type of stuff. So overall, good content, but I'd like for you to at least tell us a couple things, kind of like a background story as to why you decided to make something like that. Maybe how long it took you to come up with something, to make the videos and all that, like how much time you spent actually roaming, how many times you died, et cetera, et cetera. Kind of give us some background as to how this video was made.
Yeah, what's your win-loss ratio?
50-50 for the most part, I would say. I've been talking about making this video with my friends for 8 months or so, and I've never gotten around to doing it because one of it, I was in a corporation, I was in an alliance, and I've been nervous about the blowback for the response that I was going to get from some of the regions. So I was actually extremely nervous putting out this video as to what the response was going to be. I thought I was going to get absolutely torn apart in the comments of like, you don't know what you're doing, who are you to talk about us? So I was actually really surprised at the positive feedback that I got from the video and how everybody seemingly agreed with most of my rankings list.
To sum up one portion of it that I love the absolute most, and we need to talk about this a little more in depth than my joke I'm going to tell. And I'm going to preface this by telling everybody this is a joke, but my favorite part was Cloud Ring, trash, Declan, really hard. I even said that in my post in Silent Lines. Rip Trog.
Well, I think part of the problem, and I mentioned it in one of my comments, is that when I was visiting Cloud Ring back making my opinion, it wasn't Trog. Right. It was Wild Geese mostly. So a lot of my opinions come from
totally different thing. Totally different thing. You got to go back. You definitely got to go back. I think you'll find that to be ranked pretty high up there. And that's what I want to know. Is Declan going to be ranked higher than Cloud Ring? Because it better. If not, I'm going to start telling people to undock more capitals.
I'm probably going to have to go back then because
you do. Yeah, you do. Definitely for Cloud Ring.
And then that's the thing is I know Trog has a reputation, so I knew passing through there recently that I was probably going to see something, but because I was playing at like 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't think I saw a whole lot of people. So a lot of it is dependent on the time in which I'm playing the game.
Time zone's tough,
There's not a lot of U.S. players on when I'm playing, so a lot of my content, a lot of my kill mails and my videos comes from AOA, Meow, groups like that who are going to be online 8 hours past that.
Yeah. Would you think that with all the areas you went to, did you go to did you try at different time zones or just your normal standard play? Did you try to mix that up at all?
For the most part, I have to just base it on the experiences in which I've been there. So a lot of my content is just filament hopping. So I'll jump to an area, whatever time I might log in, because I might get some time to log in at 8:30 in the morning on a work day. Or I might come back at noon right before I do my commute home and just filament and then see where I am in the area. So I can't like accurately say this group is online at this time of day, this group is online at this time of day. It's just whenever I happen to log in. And one of the reasons why I'm solo is because I don't have a set playtime. I'm all over the place.
Well, I think that's what actually gives a little bit more legitimacy, I guess, to your rankings and what you came up with, because you're not hitting them all at the same time zone. It's not like you play every night at 8 to 9 p.m. or 8 to 10 p.m. your time, and that's what you see during that 2-hour window. You've got a range. So I think that lands some credibility to the stats you gave. That's good. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I posted the regions rankings on the on-air chat. Deck being at, basically, I'm just going to go down the list. The first one being ranked first, and then down the list in danger. Deck, number 1. Esoteria. Tino was number 3. okay, so yeah, Declan and Esoteria were tied for number 1.
Yep.
Tinnull, followed by Faye, then Innsmother, Fountain, Fade, Clowring, Cachet. It's spelt wrong. It's spelt wrong on the video.
It's autocorrect, my bad.
It's cash.
No, you know what?
Catch. Not cachet.
Cachet,
cash and catch.
No, I like the fact that the S is there, because then that makes me pronounce it right. Cachet.
That's how Gromire says it.
Damn it! I knew I was gonna spell one wrong. I knew it. There's so many regions.
Declan was also spelt wrong, but I'm not judging.
Yeah, I'm not gonna nitpick that.
Peregrine Soul, and then Deterid were amongst your top ranked danger regions, so that's pretty cool. I like seeing that type of stuff. In some of these I'd actually agreed with your rankings. I'm like, well, yeah, it's like Branch. I don't know. I don't spend too much time in Branch, but I was actually kind of surprised to see it lower than it is. Yeah. It's kind of out there, and also majority Chinese time zone. So.
Well, I wasn't surprised by Tinnull, I can tell you that. I wasn't surprised by Tinnull. I was a little bit surprised by, Tribute's a mix, and it's such a mashup, so I kind of guess I understand that point. But Vale and Geminate, I was surprised by. But I guess from my standpoint, when I go there, I get a reaction when I go there because I shoot structures. So
yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just
so cool.
I'm glad that the groups that I ranked a little bit lower haven't been hate mailing me, but I tried to explain it as best I can in the video. It's based on my personal experience. It's based on when I play, what I fly. There's groups like Delve, for example, where I think they were probably ranked a little bit higher, but because they know me, because that's where I used to be in an alliance, I feel like people don't even engage me. Like, they don't take me seriously. They just kind of let me fly through, thinking I'm not hostile. Yeah. So they might have a better response if they knew that I was there as a hunter. But that's just the way it is.
That's true, Troopa. Yeah.
Yeah, as I was watching the video, considering like I live in deck and I know how the system works, and seeing you do PvP and just talk about it, I'm like, yeah, there's a reason for that. Yeah. Though, I did miss the part about the iron triangle.
Yeah.
Where is the iron triangle? Is that the pocket over by VFK, or is it the eFICO pocket?
I think it's the VFK one, because that's a little bit more north. I don't remember the system names. I kind of highlighted it at the end of the second video where I talk about one of the top 3 hotspots for me, and it's just this little triangle of space where every time I enter this little triangle pocket, there's like 20 people in the system, and as soon as I go in, there's a gate camp to get out. Like, I can't, like, they know to cut that off as soon as I enter.
That's 100% eFICO. That's one of my systems.
Yeah.
And then there's YZ and 85 TAC. Yeah. Well,
it's a very rare and well executed experience to enter that area.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So 3QE right in front of it used to be Rambo's SOV, is now mine as well. So I've got the entry to it, the first one out of the 3, and then of course Pand and Zan have YZ and 85 TAC behind me. But yeah.
When I was in 3QE, I'd be the first. Yep. You'd have to basically, if I was online, you'd go through me first, and then you'd have to go through eFICO if you survived my corp in 3QE. Like, that's basically how it was. If people were going there, sometimes people just avoid that pocket overall. They're just like, oh no, I'm just going to go from VFK all the way over to LTAC and see if I can get some AFK miners or something. But
we haven't had 3QE for very long, so we haven't really adjusted how we do things. But I imagine that the way that we treat FICO is going to turn into we're going to treat 3QE the same way, as time goes on. Yeah. But yeah. So now you want to be able to get into the triangle, I hope.
But yeah, there's always people talking. Of course, you get the AFK people. I think that every region you're going to end up getting AFK people that don't talk in Alliance or use any intel systems or anything. Like, it's no wonder their snuggly rating is so high. It's like, freaking, what can you do about that? I think, to go as far as like your combat trained pilots, SHH, like I said, is pretty prideful in their pilots because one, they're told like, hey, this is what you need to do. This, don't be AFK. Try not to do this. Try not to do that. Be in this channel. Make sure you have Discord pings on, etc., etc. And you know, and it's no wonder that you get chased down, or just the amount of activity of people that play on a daily basis, or even, you know, at the times that people are playing PvP roaming. I mean, it's like, it's no wonder they get pinged in a system. It's like, all right, I'm on my way. What are they in? You know.
And I'm sure it's the same way and I'm sure it's the same thing in Esoteria, which is why their ranking is so high. And I know it'll be the same thing in Cloud Ring if you go back and experience Trog firsthand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I think that what people forget is that this is a PvP game first, especially if you're going to be living out in nullsec. You have to be able to be at least somewhat competent in PvP and defend yourself, and it can't always be about just docking up and waiting for the threat to go away. I really hate that mentality and that play style.
Yep, I do as well.
I don't know if there's many that do what I do. Maybe they are, but my ship is basically fit for PvP. So if I'm out, even if I'm moving the ship, I expect to get tackled and I might have to defend myself. I might lose. Also, I might win, but you know, it's not that AFK aspect of it, or I'm just making incompetent losses or whatever. It's like, oh no, I was just yeeting that anyway. I don't care about it. Well, you know, stuff like that matters, especially to PvPers and you know, roamers that take pride in their, you know, KD or ISK positiveness, you know, all that type of stuff. And so there's probably quite a few players that are like that. They actually, when they see a Newton local, they actually hope to get engaged. Oh, it's just a pie thief? Oh, damn it.
Give us a link, by the way.
Passing through in a pod. Oh, damn it. You know, so yeah, Gromire, share a link in the on-air chat for your channel. Like I said, I'd subscribe to you, and we don't have you as a sponsored content creator on this Discord. I would offer it to you if you would wish. If you continue making Eve Echoes content and you want to share your content on this Discord for this community, we can also give you the role to be able to post there if you wish.
Absolutely. Any other source that I can get to get my videos out there to people and get more people watching, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I hope you saw a big bump from when I posted it. That was part of my goal, was to make sure as many eyeballs to get on as possible.
When I first watched it, it was like 53 views and, you know, a few comments, and then after you'd posted it, actually I think it might have been this morning or something, it was like over 900 views.
Oh, good.
So it's doing well.
Good.
I hadn't watched the full extent of the second one yet.
I didn't even know the second one was out yet. I haven't had time to look, but we got the snow issues here. But
I tried to get it out this morning before the podcast, just in case. But I know it's a long one.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch
I actually just subscribed to the channel as well, and I was planning on covering and doing a shout out to you and the video I put out this week.
Sweet.
Thanks,
sweet.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I watched the first part, but not the second one yet.
I'll go post
that
up.
Jibby, you taking notes? Jibby, you taking notes?
Yeah.
No, honestly, it's a PvPer's delight. Like, you want that type of intel. It's like, okay.
Yeah, you do.
Are these guys going to drop caps on me? Or if you're silent, we need to drop more caps, obviously.
Yeah, I use that. I use that from my standpoint, as much as for where to go type of thing. I kind of already know that, but I mean, from my standpoint, I use that as okay. Here's the areas we're lacking.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the good parts of the video is that it can benefit the hunter, and it can also benefit the alliance. It's like, oh, maybe we need to get more people that know what they're doing and how to fit PvP ships. You know, maybe we could be better at that.
We need more gate camps.
As long as you keep killing Dune AFK pilots, I'll be.
That's
happy.
actually a help for us. Yes, please do.
Yes, that's actually a help. That's funny. Every time an RNI goes down, I make sure I ping Hans and say, "Well, Dune did it again.
Dune did it again.
There's another expensive lost mail." So, all right. thanks, Gromire, for coming on and talking with us about that. That's good stuff.
Yeah, appreciate the time, man.
Hope to see.
Good to meet you.
Hope to see some more good stuff and future PvP content, all that type of stuff. So
cool. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
All right. So Taylor, do you have anything to add as far as community news goes?
No, I think that's the biggest thing right there that I really want to make sure we spent time on was that. I think it's fantastic.
Okay.
We need more guys doing those kinds of things. He's right. This is a PvP game first and foremost. Everything else that goes around it is all to serve the PvP side. So kudos for him acknowledging that. I like that. That's the way I look at it too.
Yeah. I saw him in the audience, and I sent him a DM while we were talking about game news.
Yeah, and I'm with you too on that other point you made, Rambo. That I don't know what a PVE fit is. I've said that for years. I don't know what a PVE fit is. I only know what a glass cannon fit is and a PvP fit is.
And I more expect needlers, those people that just needle in randomly. They're not on intel or anything. It's like, oh shit. Now I'm in some shit. It could be 1, it could be 5, could be 10. You have to survive, basically. Even in an Orca, you have to make sure you're at the top of your game and paying attention when that shit comes up, or I guess you take a loss. So, I don't want to do.
So Barrick and Truba make two good points, right? So Barrick says a PVE fit is a DR fit, and it should never undock. Okay, fair point. I like that. And then Trupa says it's called being a glass cannon. Yeah, but Trupa, sometimes for some fits, like a blop, or as Juby calls them, slops, that should be a glass cannon, and that's your PvP fit. So, there was a time in this game, not that far back, where a glass cannon fit, I would put the screws to you for having a glass cannon fit. I'd be pissed. Now we have some of them as doctrine. So,
yeah, times change.
All right, good deal. All right, I think with that, we can now move on to MOBI Mountain, shall we?
Let's do it.
Yes. All right. Welcome to a segment that's so hot, my wife used it as her cuddle bug in bed last night. Welcome to MOBI Mountain. This is a new segment for EONE, and we shall rank PvPers on echoes.mobi, and we shall place them on a mountain to determine who is the best PvPer of the week. And we'll talk about it. And I want the staff to debate me a little bit. This is, in fact, my mountain. I did make it. But I also want to know if you guys have problems with it. So I'll post this here. I have it in the staff chat queued up. This is, I'll post it on the on-air chat here, MOBI Mountain for week 1, the first of its kind. All right? So take a look at it. Pull it up. This is it. Bottom row. And I do want to make a note first that all this data was pulled off of echoes.mobi. So if you don't post kill mails on MOBI, that's your problem, not mine. If you do post a kill mail and it's your only kill mail in the entirety of the game, you're not on the mountain. You just got lucky, and or you stole somebody else's kill. So 1 kill people are not considered to be on the mountain. This is 2+ kill mails, all right? So take a look at the mountain. Let's do the bottom row first. From Aggro, Brian 42 Perkin. Nobody's ever heard of him. At least I haven't until I started doing this.
Get the fuck out of here, Brian.
Has 11 kills for 62 billion ISK so far this month, with a total of 998 ships killed and 1.9 trillion in ISK value. Brian is on the mountain. He makes the week 1 MOBI Mountain, so check that out. Cool. Again, on the bottom row, Panicotta. Now, Panicotta from BBGX, I actually see him quite a bit on the Discords, posting kills, talking about kill mails, all that type of stuff that he's killed. He's got 32 kills this week already, worth 59 billion ISK so far. He's killed 728 ships in total, worth 3.1 trillion ISK. And this dude loves his Raven Navy issue. So you'll most likely see him in that if you do encounter this guy, Panicotta. Then, to my surprise, also on the bottom row, Wild Nigel. Wild Nigel made the mountain this week. Check this out.
Get the fuck out of here, Wild Nigel.
Wild Nigel has 20 kills worth 54 billion ISK, and in total has 1,526 kill mills worth 3.6 trillion ISK. 614 of those were in his mock. And since then, he's upgraded to a Marzio.
I was just going to say that. He must have not been in a 48-hour,
he wasn't trapped.
Block.
Yeah, he wasn't trapped.
Yeah, he hasn't been trapped this week. Yeah. So until a trap happens again, he's on the mountain. Here's another one I hadn't really heard of. X-Team from Dog. He finishes the row with 17 kills worth 53 billion ISK. This character has got 68 kill mills worth 201 billion ISK, mostly seen using a fiend as of late. So there you go. There's your bottom row.
I'm trying to remember where I saw him just in this last week. I'm trying to remember which engagement I was in where I came across him, and that was my first time that I had noticed him anyway on field. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he was in a fiend.
He was in a different corp too. I had to edit this image because I had pulled some data, and he was in a different corp, and then it turned out his latest kill mill he was in Dog. So there you go. All right, third row. Now we get to spice things up a little bit. CRB Raid Boss makes the third row, has 5 kills worth 76 billion, with his latest kill being a Nidhogger worth 43 billion of that. Raid Boss has 1,214 total kills worth 3.7 trillion in ISK. So there you go. So far this week, this is where he lands. He lands in the third row, followed by the first one from X. As you can see on MOBI Mountainers, X is on there a couple times. Ordum has 3 kills worth 69 billion this week just so far. He loves him some battleship versus battleship combat. Also has a random outpost kill this week too. I put it in my notes. He's got a random kill mill this week. Ordum has killed 213 ships worth 441 billion in his career. So good on to him. All right, and then to finish out the third row, we have Kel Wei from 665. He's got 14 kills worth 65 billion ISK so far this week, actively killing ships in his Marzio. He has 607 total kills worth 1.3 trillion ISK. So there you go. There's row 3.
Can't say I've heard that name either.
To row 2.
Can't say I've heard that.
Yeah, 665?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him in our space. So he's out roaming other regions.
I don't think I've seen him anywhere on the map. Let alone
you look at the.
I'm not talking about our space. I don't recognize that as someone out on the map.
Yeah.
The 665A.
That's not a Pravi Corp, is it?
What corp is that? Who are they with? Can someone look that up real quick on MOBI or something, or on the map or whatever? I guess you can't really search that on the map very easy, but
so
I don't recognize it.
Yeah, don't recognize it.
I probably should, but I don't.
Okay. Second row.
Yeah, that's right. I think you're right, Big King. That is Meow. Yeah.
All right, second row. To break second row, Nox makes the list. I mean, of course he does, right? So far, he's killed 3 kills worth 218 billion in ISK value. Well, not there. It's 3 for 218 combined ISK value. Yeah. Latest clap was a villain worth 204 of that. Actively hunting in his Nyx. This dude knows how to kill big game. He has 140 kills with a total ISK value of almost 16 trillion ISK.
Yep.
Watch out for this guy. He's got a 93.3% dangerous rating. He's also the 6th in all-time kill mills on MOBI. He's in 6th place.
That's just one of his tunes.
That's one of his characters. Yeah. And if you look at the all-time kill males on MOBI, he's got like 100 and something kills on a certain character, and he's ranked 6th, but the kill males is like 5% of all the other people around him, because they all have like 5,000 kills, 6,000 kills.
Oh yeah, the numbers are way low. Yeah.
This dude hunts supers.
Yeah,
and it's
he hunts
majority
yeah,
super content. Yeah,
waste his time on
like
small
I said.
stuff. Yeah,
big game.
Yeah,
big game. If you're big game, then he's looking for you. To match him, basically on row 2 of the mountain for this week, Holtzy STL from X. He's got 21 kills worth upwards of 76 billion this week. He's got a 98.9% dangerous rating. And in his career, he's killed 1,825 ships worth 4.3 trillion in his career. So that is your row 2 for killers on MOBI Mountain. Now, row 1, you see at the top of the mountain, PHPC, She'd Head Up Prime, takes the top of the mountain this week with 3 kills worth 233 total ISK. 233 billion in total ISK. The major kill from him this last week was a Cyan C in Tama. So there you go. She has 976 ships worth a total of 2 trillion ISK to date. So
Not
976 kills and worth upwards of 2 trill or over 2 trill to date. So that is that he takes his place at the top of the mountain for this week. Now, we'll talk some more about it, but I do want to give an honorable mention. As you can see, Badran has his own mountain peak on the other side over there. Badran, the best that there ever is. He's got 5,304 kills worth a whopping 40 trillion in ISK.
Yeah.
So you got the GOAT, and then you got everybody who's trying to compete on the mountain. So there you go. That's the mountain. What do you guys think about it?
Well done. Very well done. I like the way you put the structure together. Hold on a second here while I fix my shit. Gotta fix my screen.
Yeah, I think it's
I pulled it up where we
very fun to know, like every weekend. Maybe we can do something with the Duo Megas in the future for this.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, you make the top of the mountain, you get a duo. That's
how I used to do the
shout.
big kills. The big kills of the week, the top solo, get one. So you could do the same thing since Taylor gets them, you're still banned. You don't get them. Right?
I still get them, yeah. 2 a week, but yeah. If you do it right. If you do it wrong, they don't apply them. But if you do it right, they apply. It's weird. It's a trick. There's a little bit of a trick to get it to work right every week. But so yeah, we could do something with that. Explain again to everybody to make sure they understand where these numbers are coming from. Obviously, the ones you've listed are the ones who are top so far for this week. Is this week just January 1st to the 5th, or is it last Sunday to this Sunday, or is it Saturday to Saturday?
From January 1 till today.
Okay.
This is this is off of echoes.mobi. Okay.
This is a 4-day period only.
Player. Yep. So far, this week is 4 days. 4 days,
yeah.
But, of course, this is going to be ongoing, and I'm going to be tracking this on the monthly, not weekly scale.
Right.
But I'm going to be tracking this on the monthly. So I figure some of these names are going to change.
For sure. And some might be added, some might fall off, some might stay right there. So next week we're going to have the total from January. This will change based on January 1st to whatever next Friday or next Sunday is, which is the 12th.
Yep.
So a 12-day period versus a 4-day period. So yeah, I would imagine it changed quite a bit. The totals especially, but I mean, who's on there?
What's the discrepancy on this? What do you see?
It's funny as hell. Well, I don't know if there's a discrepancy. It's just funny as hell to see Wild Nigel on there and then someone I've never even heard of. But it's only a 4-day period, so anybody's ball game, really, during the start of it.
Right. Indeed. Yeah.
So
I mean, when I was making the mountain too, I was like, I didn't expect to see Wild Nigel. on there.
No, for sure no.
Some of these names I just didn't expect in period.
Yeah.
You know,
Brian.
So,
come on, Brian.
Right? I'm like, who is this person? Some of these people I do actively see in Discord a lot, and so I know that they have a community, players that PvP with them, all that types of stuff. So, how about Juby or Damon? What do you think of the mountain?
Well, Damon walked away from his camera, and he's muted.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the mountain.
Maybe
I watched
someday
him get up and walk off.
I'll be in the mountain someday.
Get
if
yourself
I get
on
lucky.
the mountain, Juby. Yeah, get yourself on the mountain.
Yeah, one good fleet fight and I kill steal all the kills and bam, that's it.
Kill the super. That'll put you there.
Yeah, one shot last.
Yep.
Last hit.
Right.
Just
yeah.
get the kill shot.
Yeah. So far, no supers have died this month.
Right.
Wait, hold on. Yeah. So far this month.
Well,
no supers
as
have died.
of 2 hours ago, anyway. Yeah.
According to MOBI.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Because it hasn't been posted yet on MOBI, if there has been. Anyway. All right, Damon, since you're back, what do you think about the mountain?
I like it, and especially since I've stopped doing the solo. I just can't do the solo kills, and I think this is a good iteration of it because I think it has to be spotlighted, right? I mean, that's the main function of everything. It is to acknowledge the killers out there, acknowledge the kill males, and reward those, or at least give them something, whether it be Omega or just like 5 minutes of fame or whatever. But some of these kill males, just people don't see it because we don't have, still to this day, no way to see the kill males in game, or see leaderboard in MOBI is the only way to do this. So, and a lot of people just don't want to go to the website or anything like that. So I like being able to highlight these things each and every week. I definitely think the mountain is definitely a nice touch with it.
Yeah, I think conversely, and I know we discussed this in our staff chat and before the show started, but I think conversely, we need to have the opposite of that, the biggest loser of the week. The biggest loss mail. And then for that person,
we're going to have
give them
Mariana's Trench.
We can give them
we're
that
gonna have
reward
MOBI
right
Mountain.
there.
There you go. You try. Equally, whoever is basically on the mountain, you just take their kill mails and seek out those players
That's
and put them in the trench.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, who did you kill? Oh, okay, obviously that person's going in the trench.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. So while making this mountain, we figured that these are going to be, names are going to be taken off, names maybe go up, names maybe come down. Because this is going to be a tapestry going through the month. Now, one that I do see is with She Had a Prime at the top. And it's like, why is he above Nox? You know what Nox does. He's got all this stuff. He's got kill. He's number 6, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, okay, well, only because of Science C decided that they wanted to engage a gate camp at Tama, puts a player at the top of the mountain. So I kind of see where some characters will overtake others unless he keeps it up, unless he continues getting more Sciences or other capital kills and keeps his numbers high. Then I could see Shiheta being dethroned, if you will, and being lowered throughout the month just because of some of these others that do PvP and nullsec happen to get a lot more kills, maybe lesser ISK worth, but I think they'll get a lot more kills over time and they'll end up taking the top of the mountain rather. So it's going to be interesting to see how this mountain develops over the month and over the year, because I plan on doing this every week. So it's going to be cool stuff, good stuff. So if people want to share that, if Shahida wants his fame, somebody can send that to him. I don't know if he's on this Discord. Be like, hey, look, you're on top of MOBI Mountain for the week. So there you go. Congrats to those that did make it on MOBI Mountain, and I actually hope to see you next week. But make sure to post your kill mills on MOBI. And of course, I wouldn't say it's sponsored, but ultimately this is made because of Mario and what he has done with Echoes.mobi as far as the kill board for Eve Echoes. So just a great tool, great reference tool. It provides a lot of data for PvP. So there you go. Cool stuff.
Mario puts in a lot of effort, a lot of time into that bot. Kudos to him for doing it. He's been a pillar of the community in terms of that effort, that work. So much is built off around that, being able to know that and see that. So we owe him a lot for giving us the only kill board we can have in this game. So thanks, Mario.
Yes, thank you, Mario.
Good deal. Well, we've been going for 2 hours.
I think that's a good opener, right? That's a good opener for Season 6.
Yeah, good opener. Good episode today. I think we're going to close it out and just in time for the Kansas City Denver game that's going to be coming up week 18.
No, I get to go shovel snow again. So yeah.
Yay! Yeah. Well, Kansas City's not going to play their starters, so you're not going to be missing much anyway. They don't need a win, but they locked in the playoffs. But until the next time, I want to thank everybody for joining on this episode of Echoes of New Eden. I want to thank our staff for joining the episode. Juby while driving. Damon, I know you're harsh on time, so thanks for joining us, as well as the audience that had joined us today on this season opening episode. And I hope you had a good time. And those listening, I hope you enjoy the podcast and give us feedback, give us voicemails, give us DMs, talk shit. I don't know, anything. We enjoy it. We like engaging with the community over here, so we'll take it all. All right. So thank you, everybody. Staff, co-host, you go ahead and say your goodbyes. I'll play the outro. We'll call it a day.
Yep. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Yes.
Yep. Good to
see
be
you
here.
Guys next week. Sorry, Damon.
Yep. Oh, no worries. I'm usually not here, so. But I'm going to try in 2025, the New Year's resolution, try to be on the show at least once a month. I'll try to be on more often. If not, I'm always listening and adding feedback into the on-air chat. But I'll see. Yeah, is it still on the soundboard?
It better be on the soundboard. Go for it, Rambo.
I'm actually trying to pull it up
trying
right now.
Trying to find it. Yeah.
I am back. I am back.
I'm fully expecting a dubstep version, a Damon dubstep version sometime this year from Rambo.
Yeah, that's I suppose you always have to worry about something like that, how I'm gonna manipulate something somebody said, because I can do it. I will. It just depends on how much time I want to spend on it.
It depends on whether or not you care. So
yeah. Do I want to spend time on it? Yeah, OC has got some more remixes coming up too. So shout out to OC Can't Stop It. And he's got some more soundboard material coming up. All right. We'll see you guys. And 07 out there.